Sorry, the volunteer. Oh, thank you for recording, Vero. I'll be the volunteer lead at the conference, so if you have any questions, you can come find me. You can also find Vero or Velvet, who's not here today. Vero, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, good morning. My name is Veronica Herrera, and I am a program director for the Early Childhood Education Program here with Proyecto Pastoral. Thank you for being here. I just want to make sure that everyone knows that this is going to be recorded. Let me make sure that that's happening at this time. It seems okay. It seems that we're good.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Give me 1 second.
Oh, in the back? I know you were supposed to turn this in the corner.
All right, can you all see my screen? Perfect. All right, well, welcome. This is our 27th annual Women's Conference, so that's super exciting. This is the only event of its kind. We gather around 300 women from Boyle Heights and the Eastside community to focus on their health, wellness, and personal empowerment. Our participants are mostly low-income Latinas. They play a vital role in their families and the community, so we want to make sure to celebrate them and yeah, just have a special day for them. All right, I'll go ahead and continue with the check-in question. So now that you know a little bit about what the conference is, I want you to think about one word that embodies the energy you want to feel the day of the women's conference. I can go ahead and start. I think I want to feel joy at the women's conference. Vero, I'll popcorn to you. Or you guys can type it in the chat too. If you don't want to come on off mic. Focused. Okay. Focused. I like that, Sammy. Inspired. Okay, that's beautiful, Camila. Enjoying. Okay, beautiful. Yes. We want to enjoy our time there. Anyone else? Joy. Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing. Happiness. It's definitely a day. I think once you're at the event, you definitely feel this like overwhelming joy and just like excitement from being there. Everyone is so excited to be there. Yeah, so I hope we all do experience these feelings. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the presentation. I know I scheduled out an hour. I don't think it'll take that long, but just bear with us. So this is a timeline for the volunteers the day of. It's just a rough timeline about what we need help with. So from 5:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. is going to be the conference setup. Then we're going to set up for breakfast and the workshops from 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also pass out breakfast around that time. Then the first session of workshops is from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30. The second session is from 11:30 to 1 p.m. Then we serve lunch from 12:15 to 2:30. And lastly, we clean up the conference and everything from 3:30 to 6 p.m. Now let's dive right into the roles of the volunteers. Okay, so as I mentioned, 5:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. is the conference setup. So what this entails, we're gonna need help with setting up the tables, putting up the centerpieces on the tables, supporting with like putting up canopies, setting out chairs for like sponsors or anyone who's tabling. It's just really getting ready for the day. Then from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., we're doing breakfast. So that's going to be, we're going to have a breakfast table. We need help setting that table up. And participants will be coming up to the table So you just need to like help guide them, lead them through the line, help like if they have any questions about the food, just kind of be there as a resource. And we do have women who may not be mobile, so we'll need volunteers that are willing to bring food to their tables. And then as for registration, we're gonna need support with guiding people to childcare. We do have 2 childcare centers. One is for youth who are 6 and below, and one is gonna be for youth who are 6 and above, I believe 6 to 15, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we're just gonna need help like telling people where to go, you know, and then maybe helping people cross the street. We don't want any accidents. This is just to prevent anything. And then yeah, so just directing them. That's gonna be at registration. Now Vero's gonna jump into the workshop details.
Great, thank you. So as Samantha mentioned, we do have 2 workshops. And then the first one starts actually at 10 and it runs from 10 to 11:30. And then the second one begins from 11:45 to 1 p.m. And so as you see, there's a 15-minute window between both, and that's for the transition period for the participants to be able to get from one to another. There are 3 levels, so that's the reason why we also have that 15-minute time frame. This year we do have 16 workshops per session, so we are very pleased with that. And then the workshop setup starts at 6:30. So from 6:30 to 9:30, we do have the workshop setup, and that really looks about making sure that that the rooms are set up and that there we have some signages that have to go up on the doors as well. And sometimes when we tape the signages, they fall down. So we want to make sure that all that is still posted up. And then the workshop cleanup is from 1 to 1:30. And that really details, and I know we'll go more into detail as we continue this session, but we want to make sure that everyone understands the roles that we are responsible for, just to make sure that we get all the equipment back where it needs to go at the end of the day. So before the workshop, we need to ensure the room details, the signage, again, technology, supplies, and setup are accurate. And assist presenters if needed. Sometimes what happens during this setup time when the presenters walk into the room, they perhaps forgot to get a cord or bring a cord from home. I know last year we had those situations where speakers, sometimes they'll forget speakers and they need speakers because they'll be playing music, which is part of their presentation. And so we just want to make sure that anyone who is assigned to that they are very aware what is it that the presenters are going to need at that time. And the presenters are very grateful to have someone there with them. Also, before the workshop, manage participant entry, direct them to the correct workshop, and regulate occupancy. So each workshop, the maximum number of participants is 15 participants per workshop. We do have a few times where some of the participants want to go in, even though we're at max capacity. So it would be the role for us to make sure that we can redirect kindly individuals to other workshops as well. Provide presenters with necessary materials and help transport them to the classrooms. So all the materials will be ready. We are getting all the materials ready for everyone. And so all the materials are going to be ready beforehand. So when you come and you check in, you will be given whatever materials you would need for the day. And then that's very helpful as well. Verify workshop room setup, including water availability, and introduce yourself to the presenter, explaining your support role, which we will go more into detail as this Zoom meeting continues. Workshop volunteers should review the workshop sheet and ask any clarifying questions at the volunteer table before workshop begins. So obviously we do know that questions will come up during the workshop. So one of the things that we provide you is with our cell phone numbers. So then that way you can also communicate with us in case you have any questions during the workshop time or any time that you are on assignment. So you can ask any questions beforehand, but definitely during the time that you're there with us, we'll make ourselves available. During the workshop. So during the workshop, this is the fun part because we get to see, you know, the excitement that actually happens during the workshops. So post a full sign once your room reaches capacity. Remember, capacity is 15 per room, so you will be getting a sign that actually says full, and then you'll be able to post that up there. And this is really to inform the participants that we are max capacity, and this is where you will be able also to help them to redirect them to other workshops. The welcome introduce the presenter by reading their workshop title, name, description, and bio. In the packet that you receive, you will have all this information with you. So all you have to do is read it out to the participants that are there. And this is information that we captured and we received from the presenters themselves. So you will be welcoming everyone there and introducing the presenter. Provide additional support to the presenter as needed and keep track of time using time cards. So we do have some time cards that you will be using. So there's a 10-minute time card, and then a 5-minute, and then a 1-minute. And this is for the presenters. So you have to position yourself in a way that you and the presenter are either facing each other or the presenter has easy access to view those reminders. And this is a great way to keep the presenters on time as well. Remind participants to fill out their workshop evaluation form at the end. So the evaluation is a way that we get to see what worked, what did not work, what are some of the workshops that they really appreciated and would want them to come back or get more information, as well as, you know, what workshops will they like for the upcoming year. As you know, this is an annual conference, so we want to make sure that we're also hearing our participants, what they're saying about the conference. Remind presenters to leave time for the evaluation. So definitely we want to make sure that the presenters leave a gap between 5 to 10 minutes during their time for the participants to complete the evaluation. So after the workshop, we will assist participants in completing their evaluation forms before they leave. So one of the things that we want to make sure that evaluations are in English. I believe in Spanish only though, right, Samantha? I think the evaluations are only in Spanish.
I think they're only in Spanish. Yeah.
Okay. And so we would need you to be able to help participants. You would read the questions to them and help them fill them out. I know we did a lot of that last year as well with some of our participants. Then help guide participants to another workshop or support the next session. So some of the participants may not know the layout of Dolores Mission School. So this would be a way for you also to support them if they need to go to the first, the second, or the third level. Then we want to make sure that you are very familiar with the layout as well. So you can support them. Assist the presenter with cleanup, including picking up technology and returning desks and chairs to their original setup. So we definitely want to make sure that any technology that we are giving the presenters, that technology comes back to us. Sometimes also the presenters may leave. I know last year someone left a charger, like an iPhone charger, in the room that they were at. So we also want to make sure that everything is left the way it was. That includes all the technology things come back to us. And if you see something that's left plugged in that wasn't there when you arrived at the beginning of the session or before the session started, that you go ahead and collect it and then bring it to us. So then that way we can have a location, just in case, as I mentioned last year, someone left their cell phone charger there. So we want to make sure that we collect everything. And then return equipment supplies to the presenter, registration booth, and check in with Laura or myself before lunch dismissal.
Thank you, Vero, for going into detail about the workshops. So after the workshops, we have lunch serving. So it's from 12:15 to 2:30. The lunch serving, we really need all hands on deck. So we need everyone helping out, just because there's a lot of women there. And we are serving lunch to the women at their tables. And this is really a gift, and it's really special to be able to bring the food to them. So we just have to be mindful about like who's giving you direction. It could be a little bit chaotic, but if we're working together, we got this. So yeah, we'll be serving lunch to them. So there are 2 different groups who will be serving lunch. One group will help set up the lunch hour, and the other group will be helping with the workshops. So be mindful of like when you're taking your lunch so that we can maximize the amount of people who are serving lunch. So the people who are in workshops, like as soon as you come out from the workshop, you might need to take your lunch yourself. After you take your lunch, you come out and help serve lunch. And maybe the people who were setting up the lunch, make sure to take lunch before we start serving it, just so that we know that you guys are well taken care of as well, and that we have everyone helping out. So then from 3:30 to 6 p.m. is the conference cleanup. So the priority is to support with giving evaluations to the women. So we do have the workshop evaluations after each workshop, but we also have an entire event evaluation. And these are super important because, like Beto said, it helps us know like what went well, what didn't, and how we can improve for the next year, because we will be having a 28th women's conference. So the way that the evaluations work is that the women they actually line up to turn in their evaluation to get a goodie bag. So if they want a goodie bag, they have to turn it in, right? So it's a good incentive. There are some women who might not be able to get up. As we mentioned, they might not be mobile. So we do need volunteers to like maybe take their evaluation to them, grab it back from them, give them their goodie bag, just things like that. And then once the women leave, we like to do a second run through of the classrooms just to make sure we leave everything how we found it. And here are a few reminders for the day of. So it is going to be very hot. It's going to be 89 degrees. So please make sure to bring a water bottle, bring sunblock, bring a hat. We just want to make sure you guys are also well taken care of. And this is a reminder that children are not allowed to volunteer, and that's just due to liability issues. We want to avoid any accidents, and we also want to be fair to the women who left their children in childcare or left them at home or something. It just is a big liability issue, so I hope you guys can understand that. And we do provide lunch and a break room for the volunteers, so we'll go ahead and let you know where that is on the day of, but you can go there when you need a break, to relax, to refuel. And we do want to let you know that parking can be difficult. So we do have limited parking available at the tech center, but other than that, you're going to have to find street parking. So we recommend that you arrive early just so that you find parking and that you're on time for your shift. And also, we're here for the women to have a special day, to have fun. It's a day to celebrate them. So I just want you to carry those words that we talked about in the beginning of the session, just hold them with you and just really like feel that and give out that energy the day of, give out joy, celebration, excitement, and just have fun with volunteering. You're really here supporting these women. So that's beautiful. So thank you. The orientation was pretty quick. So we're here, me and Beto are here to answer any questions if you have any right now. And if you think of any later on, you can shoot me an email or a text and I'm happy to answer. But yeah, the floor is open for questions.
And there was a question, Samantha. So Sammy asked if there's a pre and a post evaluation. There's only during the conference, the women fill out the evaluations based on the workshops that they attended. And that's really to gather data on how successful the workshop was, like what they walk away with. And then, of course, the overall evaluation that really gives us insights, again, as to what we did really great and what fantastic, and what were some of the areas that we need to improve in. Obviously, you know, as Samantha said, we want to definitely have the 28th annual women's conference. And so getting these evaluations back also helps us to ensure that we are continuing to grow as our organization in collaboration with Dolores Mission, and then that we are able to provide this fun, exciting, and informative conference to the women from our community. The other thing, yes, Sammy, you are correct. The goodie bags, it's people start like really once we say the goodie bags are out, it seems that everyone rushes to the table to get the goodie bags. And so we definitely want to make sure that all the women walk away with a goodie bag. And so one of the things is that we want to make sure that the goodie bags are available for the ladies, they are able to get a goodie bag, and especially because we do want them to submit the evaluation. And then that anyone that may need support, that we are there to support them in case they're not mobile, that we are able to go get a goodie bag for them and then bring it to them. The other question is, we will know if you will know the assignments the day of, or should we expect the information before the events? So I know Samantha and I have been talking about that. We really want to get the information to you beforehand, correct, Samantha? Like where you are assigned to. So that's
Yes.
actually what we are finalizing. I know that things can change the last minute, but I know that those are things that we are finalizing, and we should be sending that out to you. Our goal is definitely to send it out before even Thursday, before Thursday, I think. So then that way, if you have any questions, you can reach out, and then we'll be able to answer those questions. So thank you. That's a really good question. What color are the shirts this year? Samantha, I think it's yellow, right? Did we decided on yellow?
Yeah, they're yellow, so we've never had a yellow shirt, so we're really excited about that. They'll be
Yeah.
fun. And the design is so beautiful. The director of Promesa drew it, and she's an amazing artist. So yeah, shout out to Kathy. So if you don't have any more questions, let me check the chat. We want to make sure want to make sure I match. Yes.
Oh yeah, there's
Will there be plant-based food?
yeah, a plant-based food. So we are
Yes.
we did look at what the volunteers stated, and I know that there is some snacks provided for volunteers, but it does help us to know, like, if you have allergies, if you do plant-based foods, you know, are you vegetarian, vegan, and so it does help us to know that information, and we did note that now, so we want to make sure that everyone's taken care of. There will be water there. There will be plenty of water for all of you also to have. But again, as Samantha mentioned, it's great to also carry your water bottle. So I have mine. So I always carry mine here, and it's decorated with different stickers. So everyone knows, even here at work. And like I said, the EC, even the children know that this is mine. So sometimes I'll leave it in the classrooms when I go in. I'll leave it, and then when I walk in to get it, a little one will bring it to me because they already know it's mine. So if you bring something, kind of identify it, but also maybe you want to have your name on it, please do. Like I said, I know things sometimes we leave them behind, and we are asking if people like find something to bring it to us. So then at least this way we have an area to have it, and then get it back to individuals. Great. Okay. I think anything else, Samantha? I think that's the only, let's see.
It looks like that's the last question. So we will be sending this video out to the other volunteers that couldn't make it. And if you know anyone that's volunteering and you want to share this information, please feel free to do so. Like, spread the word about, yeah, what you learned in this orientation. And we're just so excited to have you there and just to make it a really special day. So thank you all for volunteering. Other than that, you're free to go. Yeah, thank you. Bye, Camila.
Bye, great job.
Thank you.